This is a continuation of part one of fitness for defense, for self-defense, and this is part two of part one. We looked at prior exercises, stretching exercises you could do from standing up. We're going to look at some that you can do mostly from the floor now. So let's start with cobbler's pose. Okay, so this is a groin stretch, quad stretch, hip flexor stretch, and the idea is to get your heels in as tightly as you can. My knees don't bend all that much just because of surgeries I've had, so this is about as far as I can get them in without a substantial amount of pain. So we get them in like that, get them down, let them kind of go free, and then we're going to take our toes, grab our toes, and we're going to keep our back straight as we can and pull our toes up and just hold that 15 to 20 seconds, 3 sets. Okay? Child pose. Now this one, once again, my knees won't bend all the way, but what you want to do is go back on your haunches here, and then we're going to go forward, put your head down, and what you're doing is you're stretching out your knees, and it's a good shoulder stretch. Now for further stretching your shoulders, you might want to elevate them like that and do the same pose and just drop down more. Okay, 3 sets, 15 to 20 reps. Okay, hamstring stretch using a strap or a belt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down, I'm going to bring one foot up, and what I want to do is get the belt not down here but up here, okay, near the toes, not on the toes, just at the ball of the foot. And I'm going to hold that, and I'm going to bring it up as high as I can, hold that, (15, 20 seconds). The other thing is keep that knee straight. It's easy to do it by bending your knee and bringing it back, but that's not the goal. So if you keep that knee straight, and this is as far as you can go, that's as far as you can go. Again, right now I'm pretty inflexible. I used to be able to bring it back to here, but you know, I'm going to work back toward that. Now, after you do that, take it and go out, and then come across, 15 to 20 seconds out, 15 to 20 seconds across. You'll feel different things stretching there, different parts of the hamstring. So out and across. 3 sets. Okay. Frog. Now this is working on your hip flexors, on your groin. So what I'm doing is I'm going to get like this. Now if you can see, my feet are turned out like this. Okay? My feet are turned out like a frog, and I'm going to get down like this, and now I'm going to back up (15 to 20 seconds), and this is a lot more difficult than it looks, but you'll feel it right in here. It's your hip flexors and your groin is getting stretched, which particularly if you have to do some kicking. It's good to be loose in the hip area because that's where more injuries can happen, groin injuries, hip injuries. So gives you that flexibility. Also flexibility when we start doing ground fighting, flexibility to move your legs around is real important, as you'll see. All right, upward dog. So a lot of these things are from yoga, not all of them, but a lot of them are from yoga. And not all yoga is great, but a lot of it's really good. So upward dog, what we're going to do is we're going to get our feet straight, and we're going to look up. We're going to start here, and we're just going to push ourselves up and try to keep your hips on the ground so you're getting a good back stretch. This is actually an excellent exercise for lower back pain, depending on the kind of pain, but a lot of lower back pain can be addressed with this is one of the exercises that will address it. And then upward dog, what I'm going to do is just turn my feet like this and come up. And what I want to do is press my heels into the floor. So there's a hamstring stretch, and at the same time, I'm getting a shoulder stretch. So heels aren't like this, they're pressed into the floor. Let me get over here to make sure you can see that. Press them into the floor. 15, 20 seconds, and 3 sets. Okay. Lunges. All those of you who are in athletics have probably done a lot of lunges. So there's a lot of different kinds of lunges. So we can do a lunge with our knee down, and what we want, our goal is to get our legs straight. So if we're back like this, we want to either bring the knee up or we want to stretch forward, and we're going to hold that. Inner hamstring stretch, groin stretch, also a little bit of the quadriceps back here. Okay, and then the other side. So again, that back foot is flat against the top of it is flat against the ground. Okay, now variation on the lunge is I'm going to come up, place my hands on my knee, and I'm going to hold it like that. Try to keep that back leg straight. That one's hard to hold for 15 to 20 seconds, but you can work up to it. Start with 5 seconds. So I'm here. This time my foot isn't flat. My toes are bent into the floor. I straighten that leg. I come up. I try to straighten my back and look forward. Basically same stretch, but it's a little more radical. Okay. Another lunge variation is I reach back, I grab that foot and bring it up, and this is going to really stretch my quads. Reach back, grab that foot, and stretch those quads. Okay, 3 sets of those. Okay, figure 4. A figure 4, it's like crossing your legs, okay? So I'm going to hold my leg up, I'm going to cross this over, I'm going to reach through, grab my own hand on the back of this leg here, this one that I'm moving, and I'm going to pull. And you will feel this in the outside of your hip. And we switch, and the same thing on this side. Pull. Your 3 sets. Alright, sorry to keep referring to my list here, but I don't want to miss any. Wide angle fold. Okay. Wide angle fold is, I used to be really good at this until I started having back problems, so I can't do it very well anymore. But what you want to do is get your legs as wide as you can, and then hands here. You're going to breathe in and breathe out, and as you breathe out, you go forward. If you can get your elbows on the ground, you're doing really well. There's always somebody in the class that can put his or her head on the floor, and more power to them. That's amazing flexibility, but most of us can't. A lot of people can only get to this point. So if you're only to here, you want to work on getting your elbows down. Try to keep your head up, back relatively straight. And the next time you go down, again, exhale. 15, 20 seconds. What I find, and I think what most people find, is by the third set, you're doing it a little bit further than you were before. And eventually you might be able to get yourself down where you can almost touch your head. That would be really good. Okay, plow. This is both a hamstring and a back stretch. And if you can't do it right away, just do the best you can. So I'm going to lay here with my hands like this. There's a couple variations of these, but lay here, and I'm basically going to do this. But my pads, so I'll do this. My mats are in the way there. So I'm going to come back. I'm going to keep my legs straight, and I want to touch my toes and hold it. You can hold it for 15, you can hold it for 20, and then come back, and then do it 2 more times. Now, a variation of that is, instead of keeping my toes at 9-degree angles, I point them, and then I put my arms back. So my arms are back like this, and my toes are pointed. So my legs are still straight, and when I do this, I usually get a cramp in my foot. So you may have a preference of which one of those you want to do. Now again, if you can't go all the way back, then you go back as far as you can. And don't judge yourself based on what somebody else can do. Just the idea is that you are making progress every day, and it's all, you're comparing yourself against yourself. Don't compare yourself against somebody else. People are naturally flexible and naturally inflexible, and some kinds of exercises, like guys that do a lot of weightlifting, become more and more inflexible as they get more and more muscles. So there's a lot of reasons why people are not flexible. So just work at it, and the goal is not to get perfect at any of these. I'm certainly not. The goal is to improve your flexibility for your overall health, and certainly for a situation where you might have to defend yourself. Okay, just a couple more. Kneeling hamstring, we already did that. Okay. The kneeling hamstring was this. So that's kind of a variation of a lunge. So we did that one. So the next one is the Achilles stretch. So I'm going to get on my knees. I'm going to take this foot, and I'm going to bring it in like this. So you see how that foot is? And then I'm going to put my heel down and lean my weight on it. And what you'll feel is, you'll feel that in your Achilles tendon, that stretch all the way. You want to make it more, go back a little bit more, and then switch, and the heel goes down to the floor, and you lean forward. Another good exercise, ruptured Achilles tendons are terrible, so this is a really good exercise to keep that Achilles tendon flexible and in good shape. Okay, so those are the exercises from the floor. So the next section will be on strength building exercises, mostly body weight stuff, and we'll see you in the next video.